So, Grant, let's talk about this storm surge.
Yeah.
Like, why is that so important?
Well, because that's where most of your life is lost. Is because people, they don't evacuate, and they just don't. They can't, it's hard to imagine what this is. That this water is literally going to come up feet upon feet. I mean, some places are now predicted to see 15 feet.
I mean, that's catastrophic level.
Absolutely. Catastrophic level. People could lose their lives. The National Weather Service and local authorities are saying, look, you got to get out.
Get out.
You got to get out. The water is nothing to mess with. Let me show you here. We've got a couple of storms out there. Obviously, Hurricane Idalia is the immediate concern for the Florida coast. This system is just going to be cranking up over the next 24 hours, and in that time, it's going to go from a Category 1, where it is right now, to a Category 3, and it's going to push all of that Gulf of Mexico water up onto the shore. That is the surge. That is when the water goes up onto land that is normally dry, and at this point, forecasts of 10 to 15 feet, which is hard to imagine. Hurricane Franklin out there, Category 4 hurricane, so it's a major hurricane, but we like those storms that stay off in the Atlantic and don't bother any land, and that's what Hurricane Franklin is going to do. Meanwhile, Idalia does make landfall sometime around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. It'll then move through the southeast, likely bringing flooding rain to anywhere from Georgia to the Carolinas, and then it'll go out to where Hurricane Franklin is right now. Now, I do want to talk a little bit more about Franklin, because Franklin, in an indirect way, is already beginning to bring some impacts to us here in New Jersey and down toward the Delaware beaches. It's roughing up the ocean a little bit, and it's sending some waves to our coast, giving us some rough surf. Now, Idalia will move up to the north and east. It runs into this high pressure system. This high pressure system acts like a blocker in football, right? And it's going to block, and it's going to keep the tropical moisture and the tropical system away from the mid-Atlantic and points north. So we'll still see some rough surf and concern for some rip currents, kind of as a remnant from Franklin. But all of that is going to clear out, and this high pressure system comes over the top of Idalia, keeps it to the south. It allows for some drier and really pleasant weather to just hang around, beginning really Thursday and lasting all the way through the Labor Day weekend. So two good things coming from that high pressure system, really. But here's what we have right now, waiting on that high pressure system to move in. We've got a stalled out frontal boundary to our south, and that's keeping the cloud cover around, and it's keeping temperatures in the mid-70s out there into the afternoon. We're not going to see temperatures warm all that much more, maybe peaking around 80 degrees this afternoon. I've got a few very isolated showers on the radar moving out toward Long Neck, moving into the Delaware Bay, Cape May. You've seen a few very stray showers, but that's about it. Now, we do have a full moon coming tomorrow, and high tide tonight's expected to be a little bit higher than normal, so a coastal flood advisory for some of our normal areas that see some of those high tide flooding, knowing that's this evening into early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, not much to wait for until this cold front comes in. That's what's going to bring us our chance for a few more showers, maybe a storm as we go into early tomorrow morning. Between now and then, maybe a stray pop-up shower this afternoon, and then that cold front begins to move in as we go into around 6, 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then once that cold front moves through, the rain clears out, and we have a great forecast on the way as we go, really beginning Wednesday afternoon and then continuing all the way through the second half of the week. Look at that forecast. 80s back in the mix for the Labor Day weekend. Jim?
Looks great. Thank you, Grant.